Hello, everyone. How's everybody holding up? Good to see y'all here. Looks like we've got a nice little crowd here. Let's go ahead and say hi to everybody. Got my hair down. I just went to the grocery store for the last time. I don't think I could be more prepared than I already am. I think I've got 3 months worth of food because I didn't hoard. I just planned the last month. About a month to 6 weeks from now, I've been buying a little bit extra, a little bit extra, a little bit extra. It was interesting. I went to the 99-cent store about 6 weeks ago, and there was plenty of everything. And so I was able to get sacks of rice and beans, and that was pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and say hi to everybody. Hi, Maria. Welcome. Wish you good health as well, Maria Olga. Drifty Van Dweller. That sounds like a fun life. Hello. Salome is back in the house. Sorry about any misunderstandings. I think we accidentally blocked her. Sorry. Janet Baradas is here. Bad boy Rob. You know how I feel about my bad boy. I love bad boys, particularly when they are redeemed. Warrior Princess 991, Jennifer Cooper, hello. It looks like my sidekick, Mila, is taking her position. Carol Ann Fryer, hello. Susan Fortier, Douglas Carter, welcome. Noelle is our moderator extraordinaire. Miss Sharon, Cool Ant. I bet you are a Cool Ant. And Blake Aquatic, Douglas Cartier, we've already said hi to. Slot, oop, you're going so fast now, it's hard for me to say hi to everybody. T-Barb, hello, Maria Green, R&E Oldies, Paula Ann. Aletha is here, howdy. Ronnie, shalom, shalom. Becky, hello. Elaine Brown. Looks like we've got a nice crowd here. Pierre Walker, I'll be sure and say hi to everybody. Catherine Herrick is here, good to see you, Catherine. I am doing really well. Like I said, I'm fairly certain I had the virus about a month ago. I was meditating, like, what can I tell people as a naturopathic doctor that's going to calm them down other than building your immune system and making sure you're sleeping and reducing exposure? So I have a couple tips. It's not based on being a psychic or anything. It's just basic common sense. But so I had said, plan for a couple of months. And people got mad at me, but the reason why I'm saying that is because you really want to limit how many times you have to go to the grocery store, particularly as the numbers increase. And that's because when we look at statistics and the arc of this infection rate, the more time passes, the more people theoretically are going to be silent carriers. And so the greater your risk of an exposure as time goes by. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard quit. So in order to minimize your exposures, particularly if you are high risk, you just want to make sure you've got a couple of months until this clears through, because you really want to limit how much shopping you're doing over the next couple of months. If worse comes to worse, though, I know Amazon has really kicked up their delivery service. So if people are really desperate, they can have food shipped via Amazon. And I want to talk to people about something. I spoke to Linda G on the phone, and she also agreed that she wants to be part of our angel network. Psychic angels. So if you are in trouble, if in the next couple of months, if you are afraid to leave your home, we do raise funds here. This is we also donate here. And so Linda and I are asking for volunteers. If you want to be a good angel, to connect with seniors in this community or seniors in your area. If you are afraid of dropping off the food directly, you can order cans of food to be delivered via a delivery service like Amazon.com. And of course, it's your money. So it's up to you what you want to do with your savings. With your charity money. We've raised it together. I think we'll be raising probably about $700-800 this month. So it's up to you if you want to donate it to a charity or if you want us to do gift baskets to the people that watch this channel and Linda G who need gift baskets dropped off at their home via some delivery service, Amazon, etc., then we're more than happy to do that. I'm getting really overheated. I got to turn my heater off. So, if you are in need, if you are afraid to leave, she is a beautiful person. Linda G is a lovely woman, and I'm really glad I got a chance to finally talk to her. So it was kind of cool because she's a nurse and I'm a doctor, and the first thing you learn when you go into healthcare is to get people to calm down. It's like, running around screaming about the earthquake is when people have accidents in earthquakes. If you would just be calm and walk into an area that is fairly safe and just sit, hunker down, you'll probably be okay. It's when we run around, So we know how the virus spreads, and so we just want to make sure we don't get exposed. So the secret of herd immunity is don't expose yourself. Again, if you need help, if you are a senior, if you are scared, if you are trapped in your home, do not fear. We will be doing an angel network. So let us know who you are if you need help, and we will arrange a gift basket either through the money we have raised so far. Is up to you folks how we spend the money, but I think we may be in a situation in the coming month where we may just want to ship like $50 food supplies, $50 each, to people in need. Again, it's up to you. It's up to this community. It's your money. It's your community. I simply get to have fun spending the money. So yeah, communicate with me about that. Yeah, the natural foods, like buying bulk rice and beans. The thing is if you're sick as a dog and you don't feel well, whipping up a huge meal is going to be a pain in the tuchus. So I would recommend that people make soup and freeze it, make nutritious things and go ahead and freeze it. And then if you're not feeling well, you can go ahead and warm it up. Also, humidifiers, if you can't get yourself a humidifier, boiling water, steam can be helpful. Keeping the lungs open, eucalyptus oil and a little bit of hot water can be helpful. The essential oils can be helpful. Somebody had asked me if essential oils kill the microbe. Yeah, there are studies on the antiviral properties of essential oils. People have been doing things like putting a little bit of tea tree on the mask or a little bit of the antimicrobials. I can't swear by that because I haven't seen any data on that. Money for those in need. Okay, thank you, Catherine. So that's the $20 we've raised for gift baskets for those in need, but you don't have to give the money here. You can connect directly to anybody in need through this channel or through Linda G and just communicate a pickup, like how, and just do it directly if you don't want me to do it. All right, so again, the thing I want to reiterate is that the infection rate is increasing, which means that you really want to start not going out and to shopping places. I did my last shopping today, and I'm looking at the fact that I've only got 2 sad little tomatoes. So I might have to be stuck with no tomatoes for the next 6 weeks. What can you do? In terms of vegetables, I got the root vegetables and frozen vegetables. The root vegetables last a long time. So I basically built myself a mini root cellar with potatoes and yams and onions, beets, that sort of thing. So is everybody here watching this okay? No, Dusty Rose, that is actually incorrect. Some are what we call saline stable, and some are not saline stable. For example, some forms of hepatitis are saline stable. That's why when you eat raw oysters, you can get hepatitis A. Hepatitis A is salt stable. Some infections, and that's a bacteria. What we're dealing with here is a virus, and specifically we're dealing with a plus single strand enveloped RNA coronavirus. So when we say envelope, we mean that it can hide itself. It can hide its identity from your immune system. And so if you have a depressed immune system, you want to really be careful with this virus. If you have a strong innate immune system, you're probably going to be fine. Also, we're looking at viral load. Your body is at the point at which your body cannot handle the load of virus that it's been exposed to. So different people have a different tipping point. You might only have a mild exposure, and then you'll mount a mild response, and then you'll have immunity. The other question, or you may have a huge load, which is what's happening with doctors. They're tired, they're exhausted, their immune systems are depressed, and they're dealing with people, and they're constantly receiving, every time a person coughs, say theoretically, 100,000, a viral load of 100,000 of the coronavirus they take in, and then they get another 100,000 and another 100,000 and another 100,000. And what happens is that their innate immune system isn't able to respond effectively because it's too much exposure. That's different than, say, somebody taking an Uber, having a small viral exposure, and then the innate immune system is not overwhelmed, and then you have a mild response. People had also asked me, can you get it again? That's a trick question, so let me try and explain it. When your body's innate immune system, which is your first immune system, thank you, Doreen. When your body's immune system is exposed to a virus, it will eat the virus, it will show the virus, we call cell-mediated immunity. The process of getting what's called memory immunity or antibodies can take several days. So you may have successfully kicked the virus, have a negative, and you can have false negatives, by the way. That's why you take 2 tests. But then you want to give yourself some downtime, even though you don't have the virus, to let your body create antibodies. Does everybody get that? And so once you have an adequate amount of antibodies, then you should be okay. But what they're seeing is 2 problems. Number one is people that haven't given themselves enough time to rebuild their immune system being vulnerable to secondary infections, often bacterial infections. That can be a problem. So really let yourself have that extra couple of days after you've cleared it to just build up that immune system. What was the other thing I was going to say? I can't remember. Hello, Bad Boy Rob did something nice. Somebody said thank you to Bad Boy Rob. Doreen Garby gave $10. Thank you very much. And we have the $20 from Catherine Bush. Awesome. So let's go ahead and do a group reading together just to help everybody get focused. Is there anything people want me to be focusing on in the group reading? Anything people need specifically? Like how? Well, gin is ethanol that's been soaked in juniper berries, and juniper berries do have antimicrobial properties. But again, this is all theoretical. It's not like, you got to be careful with FDA and the medical community. They want to see an actual. Okay, so whoever needs it the most, yeah. Just reach out to us. If we don't get any requests for direct help, then we're going to give it to a charity that's being recommended for emergency aid. Does that sound good to everybody? I also want to say that, this is kind of like metaphysical. Gaia's lungs are suffering because we have our lungs exchange gas. Gas exchange takes place in our own little trees, our own little beautiful forests, which are the alveolar sacs. Right? That's where gas exchange is taking place in the lungs. And they do look a little bit like our own little trees. So it's kind of like interesting that we're going through the same thing that Gaia is going through, and everything is connected. But everybody here can feel good about themselves because this community planted 5,000 trees so far since we did our taxes. So we're doing our best. We're building that forest. we're doing our best. Smart thermometers. I just grabbed a regular thermometer. This one's an eco-friendly one that doesn't contain mercury. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I already had it. I had a pretty mild case of it. I was looking back at my records, like from the time I had the symptoms to the time I had the reaction, which was last month, and I couldn't figure out where the exposure came from. So it must have just come from driving in an Uber, and it must have been a very mild exposure because it was scary. I mean, your chest feels inflamed, and you're like, "What the heck is this?" And there's a couple days where it gets a little spooky, like, "What the hell?" And your legs might feel a little weak. Like I said, use a humidifier, keep your immune system up, stay hydrated. Oh, that was what I was going to say. There's been some studies on with respiratory therapists, physical therapists on diaphragmatic breathing and strengthening your breathing techniques. If you're freaked out because we don't have enough ventilators, the good news is that there have been studies in other countries about increasing lung capacity through yogic breathing, deep diaphragmatic breathing exercises, like doing a deep breathing with a stack of books on your chest and seeing them raise and then come down. That's kind of boring, but some people do that. But the idea is that you want to be able to push out all the dead space. When you do your exhales, you just want to exhale a little bit extra. For example, people who are in acute respiratory distress syndrome, we'll often put them on their stomachs, and then we will press on the back to press out all of the dead space air, and then that way they can take in another clean breath and then push out all of the dead air, and it can be very, very helpful. So you might want to check on some of the YouTube videos about improving your breathing. Yeah, Tai Chi, anything to keep you centered. But the main thing is that we want to Kundalini yoga breath. Yes, exactly, Douglas. There have been studies on that. And the studies have come out of countries like India, which have a high asthma rate. So I think there is enough solid evidence on that to tell people to start doing the yogic breathing and the deep breathing, because we are probably going to be heading into a situation where we are going to have to treat ourselves. Elizabeth Warren, thanks for mentioning that. The people who have mentioned Elizabeth Warren SS, remember when we did remote views? We've done them for about a year now, where I followed the energy and I kept winding up with Elizabeth Warren, Elizabeth Warren, Elizabeth Warren. She met with Bernie Sanders a few days ago. And I kept seeing FDR, like the spirit of FDR over her. And I thought, damn, she's like FDR. FDR, the New Deal, the New Green Deal. And it didn't make any sense to me because the economy supposedly was doing great. So like, why would she be so prominent when the economy is so great? I think that this is why she's coming up prominent, because this, I got to use that word again because I like it so much. This wonky up and down of the stock market, where now we're pretty much where we were when Obama was in office. I think that it's driving people to vote for Biden. And I think that the president has put the act. It was an act, a lot of it. Remember we talked about the fact that when you go into a remote view on the president, there's a bit of an act. He's a bit of a shock jock, and he's the entertainer. The Republicans are doing the work, and they send their little entertainer out to rile up. He's like a clown that riles up the audience. They're like, we love what you're doing. Keep it up, because you're really riling up our base. And then we can go and implement our Republican policies, and you're our showman. But the problem is he's kind of served his purpose, and Republicans no longer. He's going to have to either A, change his act. You know, actors got to get an adjustment. Anybody who's taken an acting class, you need to adjust your performance a little bit. And that seems to be what's happened. Yeah, like a circus clown. But it's not that technique that the Republicans were using to rile up their base isn't working in this new. So it's literally like a director going and talking to the actor and saying, you know, we need you to change your tone now. We need you to tone down this. And it's kind of silly, but that's what seems to be going on. Let's do a prayer for everybody. Let's see if Spirit has a message for us. And again, my email is, if you don't want to announce it here, and I respect your privacy, and you do need help, it can just be between you and me. And we have permission from our group, I believe, to send gift baskets, food baskets. Just tell us what you eat. You can go to whimsyanderson@gmail.com. Seniors, people in need, people with underlying health conditions will be the top priority for the group. I think we can all agree on that, right? All right, let's do a prayer. Hi, Sharon. Yeah, the presidency is coming to an end. It's so weird because I saw Pence being our president in April. It's like, oh, it's because the president's stepping back and Pence. Oh, that's what this. Oh, well. I want to call on white light protection for myself and my viewers as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with all of us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower us to make the best decisions for ourselves, for our families, for the planet, for the people we love. We would also like to help those we have strife with. Together we say amen. Amen. Let's take a look, people. We're 569 strong. Yeah, I think I took an unnecessary risk by going shopping today. But I thought, you know what? I don't feel safe going. I might not feel safe going out a month from now or 2 months from now, so I'd better take care of it. But California is a hot zone. Where we're at right now, what do you think the archetype is going to be? Can anybody guess what the archetype would be for who is the leader of the tribe? Who has it all together? Who's the person that leads? Which archetype in the tarot deck? Who's the head of the tribe? The King of Wands, right? We've talked about this. This is the group reading. It's that idea that how do you get respect? How do you get respect? So you look at someone like, how do you pronounce his name? Fauci, the medical advisor for the CDC. That's the King of Wands. The King of Wands has the staff of authority. He's got the Lion of Judah. He's seated with the Lion of Judah. And he's respected for his judgment because he knows what he's talking about. So being Fauci, thank you very much, Donna, Fauci. So the reason why people respect Fauci is because he doesn't talk unless he knows what he's talking about, and he really gets his facts straight. So that's King of Wands type of energy. It's this get our facts straight versus rumors, fake information. You know, there's a lot of fake information going around. So the King of Wands, this is when you've got it so together, the rest of your family starts following you because you're the leader. And there's a Nine of Wands moving in, which is to be cloistered, right? To be defended, to be protecting your territory, to be wounded but on guard. But I like the fact that this is the second time we've done this reading on this subject, and both times we wound up at the same base, which is the King of Wands, which is You have to be the one to man the ship. You have to be the one to be the leader in the family, and that means getting the house in order. I've been saying this a lot when I do private readings lately as well. Where we as a group are at right now, a lot of learning going on with all of us. You can see a nice education card pounding away, doing our work, making our own coin. This is also somebody who is a self-starter, who does it themselves. But what I like about this card is I always call it the mastery card. He is constantly trying to perfect his skills. He's pounding away, he's making his own money. It's often someone who's self-employed, or it's somebody who's just trying to master what it is that they are mastering their craft. Now, what crosses us is grief. So there is a genuine feeling of grief and about what has been lost, not just financially, but the fact that people are suffering. And this is something that's happened a lot here in Los Angeles, where I'm just trying to be mindful. Like I said, if you don't have to be on the streets, don't be on the streets. I can tell you just, I can just tell you, being here in Los Angeles, that we're hearing the ambulances more. It's starting to rev up a little bit, and EMTs, etc. That we really want to just stay off the road, particularly as the numbers increase. You really want to just not drive if you can. Just let the people that need to be on the road be on the road. Something that's really been coming up a lot. Grief. And I'm also trying to just be mindful when I hear like an ambulance or something, just taking a moment to be prayerful, to really just send prayer and healing to those people who are suffering right now. What is above us? Many choices. You can see the Seven of Cups coming in, a feeling like we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. And so what you do is take care of your own tribe, take care of your own home, get your house in order, get the facts straight, go with the CDC, go with the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization is an offshoot of the United Nations that was created to deal with things like pandemics. And it goes back to, the reason that it was created was because this is the worst case scenario. It actually could have been a lot worse. This could be Ebola, which is fatal for most people. This is, for most people, an upper respiratory infection. It's scary when you've got it. But there are a lot of things we can do to get through this. And internal conflicts too. You can see we have some internal conflict here in the third house with the Five of Wands. But it's also an education card, exchange of ideas, seeking knowledge, stressed out. Stop stressing, people. It's not good for your immune system. Relief is coming. You can see an Ace of Pentacles. Everybody's going to be okay financially. I think the president and the Democrats, Republicans are really working together now. You can see a nice Ace of Pentacles moving in. This is going to be the bailout. The best thing, I can't stress this enough, is to relax, take care of your basic needs, hunker down for the next couple months, and try and avoid any risk of exposure if you can. The sun's coming out. Oh, this is another thing that I got to hit on. This is going to make everybody feel a lot better. I know I'm touching my face, but I washed them and I did everything. But anyway, when I go into the energy and I follow the virus, I see palliation is going to be the main focus of the healthcare professions, and that is to stabilize patients, and particularly coming up with ways to stabilize patients who cannot get a respirator. So that is why the physical therapy becomes important. The massage therapy people become important. The people that know how to help exercise the lungs, lung exercises, diaphragmatic breathing, opera singers. You can go ahead and start teaching people some great vocal techniques. But the idea is that strengthening your core, right? Let's all start doing some core exercises. This looks like a time we're entering into, which is palliation, which means that they will probably be, like I said, using medications to stabilize patients because that are already cleared by the FDA for other reasons, that's the fastest way to treat this illness. And that's probably what they're going to be doing. So we're going to see more patients surviving. More patients surviving. The last time I looked, Israel had no deaths, and they had over 400 patients. And I think the reason why is because they're set up for triage. The doctors there have amazing triage training. So they were able to convert it into, they're ready for war, basically. And so because that was already standing in place in Israel, they were able to just convert it into this emergency. But I'm seeing that the patients are going to be stabilized, and we're going to see a higher survival rate because the doctors are really going to learn how to stabilize these patients. Yeah, you can see a nice 9 of Pentacles coming in. The hope and the fear, hidden information, and also the money not getting to the people. A hanged man. I think we're going to be able... Look, the good news is we were one of the last countries to be hit. One of the last of the major companies to be hit. Oh, look, health is coming. And so what happened was that when they were trying to stabilize patients and they didn't have respirators, they were looking at drug therapy. They were looking at various different things that they thought could help. No, it wasn't Mossad. Mossad is not the one that gets the virus kits, and it's not necessary. The World Health Organization has the kits. You simply have to get them from the World Health Organization. And since Israel's not at war with the World Health Organization and the United Nations, it should be relatively easy. It's really this president, I'm sorry to say, his hostility towards the UN and refusal to get help from the World Health Organization. But everybody else is getting their test from WHO. And we're probably going to be getting it from private manufacturers so that they can make lots and lots and lots of money and spike the cost. But don't worry, it'll just come out of your taxes because the federal government's going to pay private people. So that's the problem with the testing. But the good news is that healing is coming in and hanged man. All right, let's do it. Let's start having some fun with looking at celebrities. Famous people. Our politicians, anybody else. I was glad to hear that Tom Hanks and his family were doing good. He is very health conscious, by the way. He loves Gaia. We know him because he shops. I used to work in an area where he did the shopping, but he's a really nice guy, Tom Hanks. He shops at the Green Pharmacy and he drives a Prius. And he walked into the Green Pharmacy one day and he said, "Hello, everyone." And all of the pharmacists, everybody just crowded around. And it was next to the Whole Foods. And Tom Hanks says, "Dang, I forgot the milk." And one of the pharmacists shouts, "I'll go buy it for you." These people liked him so much. All right, let's look at Kushner. Yes, Tom Hanks is a very nice man. I thought that was funny that someone offered to go buy his milk for him. Ah, lucky you. Yeah, we'll do Elizabeth Warren. Let me take a notes for people. Isn't this a fun way to quarantine? You can hang out with whimsy. By the way, my birthday is March 22nd, and I want to thank Mark Rhodes for the beautiful gift. The candle you see over there, he sent me those candles that smell gorgeous, and he sent me a pound of the Blue Mountain coffee. Is that what they call it? Which is the greatest coffee ever created. So I figure if anything horrible happens and we're going down with a ship, I will grind up that coffee, and I'm saving that for the end of times because it's very expensive and very delicious. Yeah, March 22nd. So I'm thinking of having a quarantine party on March 22nd. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. All right. So we're doing Kushner, and then we're going to do Elizabeth Warren, who I think it's fairly obvious now why her energy was so strong in the coming months. Is that it for people? Okay, we'll do that for now. Thank you. Thank you for the birthday love. Party time. Better get this party started. Ganja's here? Oh, I hope she's feeling better. Jared Kushner. What's going on with Jared Kushner? He's in the tower. And some information or documents are coming out. You can see that which is hidden is being revealed, the high priestess. I always feel like the high priestess has almost like a Scorpio energy. It's almost like she is the archetype of the underworld. You know, the pomegranate, there's something hidden about the pomegranate. In Jewish tradition, the pomegranate is said to have 613 seeds to denote the mitzvot, the laws that you're supposed to uphold to keep the universe in balance, basically. But it has a mystical connotation, the pomegranate. But I always think of her as hidden. And I think about the goddess in the Yoruba tradition very similar, which is Oya. And she's the archetype. She has that Scorpio energy. Her color is purple. Her plant is eggplant, which grows at night. She's an energy of the underworld, and that which is hidden. So, as we talked about before, Torah in Hebrew means ta, or to bear the light, and that something hidden, some information is going to come out. And you can see he's got the tower right over him. So things are not good for Mr. Kushner. Let's go in. Fighting. So the main problem that he is having with his family, with the powers that be, is fighting and arguing. They are not in agreement about what to do. It's a very stressful environment. You can see here cards 11 and 12, that tower coming in, and then you can see the fighting or arguing or exchange of ideas. It's very, very intense around him right now. What crosses him is a feeling of trying to bring the elixir, trying to bring the medicine, trying to calm the waters. The other thing about him is that he's trying to communicate young, wealthy progressives with the conservatives. The fact that Knight of Cups is coming in, Knight of Cups often brings also the chalice of peace. He's the peaceful warrior. You know, if you look at all the different knights and what they represent, it's the Knight of Cups that comes with the peace offering. So in the middle of the chaos, and stuff that's being exposed, he's attempting to create some kind of peaceful environment. What is above him is the moon card. It's always about the money with them. I mean, who doesn't like a little extra cash? But this is like an addiction. You know, we all like money. We're just not obsessed with it. You can see the Queen of Pentacles moving in the fourth house with the sun coming out. I think he's arguing with I think he's arguing actually with conservatives about business's part in the crisis, and people all have plans. But the problem I'm having here with these cards is that there's the communication. There's problems with communication. And I think because this Eight of Swords is moving in, he's being limited in terms of what he can and can't do. There's a feeling in these cards that he's trying to work business. He's trying to do his business in a way that he thinks would be a solution, and he's being blocked. And blocking and the fact that people are not working together is actually wasting time, whether you agree with his ideas or not. There's time being wasted with this fighting. Ace of Wands moving in, that's entrepreneurship, smoother waters. hopes and fears, and final outcome, new contracts. It looks to me like what's happening for America is that the businesses are looking at great ways that they can make money, um, great ways that they can make money off this emergency, which of course will increase the price of things. No, we don't want to go with the World Health Organization and the UN. We don't like NATO. We're going to do it all on our own. We're going to go with our own companies and we're going to give them our money because we're national. Meanwhile, 2 months have passed and what we believe is not as important as the facts. And the facts are that we needed to get the test. But you can see new contracts coming in with business. He's arranging contracts with business. Ace of Wands is an entrepreneur's card. It's in the 7th house, going into smoother waters. Yes, it works, but what would have worked better would have been to have taken advantage of the World Health Organization. That's my own opinion. Clarification, and it would have been cheaper rather than helping your friends get rich. And theft. We could also be seeing some theft. Theft, corruption, misappropriation of funds, fleeing a situation. Yeah, I think he's going to be called out on some of the deals he's trying to create and feel stronghold or clamped down. And I think it's just not it's not cost effective. But there's also a theft card here, or to flee a situation. But this is the thief's card. So the way I would interpret it is that there are really complicated private contracts, and that's the area he's working with, is these private contracts and protection from private companies to get private contracts. Hold on a second. Oops. I'm going to have to open you guys up here because I've lost my... Just got a reminder that Mila has to come back in to get her checkup. Yeah, that's not going to happen for a couple months, kiddo. My channel, live now. Let's see what y'all are saying. My channel. Can I even see you folks? Huh, I'm going to have to open up another one. Sorry, these, I lost my connection here. Let me go and reopen this. Sorry about this. It's a little weird right now. Okay.
Hosting a dinner party for your friend.
Oops. What the heck? Oh, sorry.
Hosting a dinner party for your friends.
There we go. Sorry about that. I lost my stream. Hello to you as well. Thank you, Pogo Code, for the donation, and Love Peace, thank you for the donation as well. Please let me know where you want the donations to go to. We are doing food baskets, emergency baskets for people in the community in need. If you are in need, send me an email at whimsyanderson@gmail.com, and I will see about getting you a emergency food supply. Probably I'll be ordering through Amazon. Also, we can connect people with angels in your area if other people want to sponsor a basket for people. Yes, Elizabeth Warren is a Cancer. Let's go ahead and see how she's doing. Talk about the right person at the right time, huh? I couldn't figure that out. Like, we're not in a recession. Why would she be important? I don't get it. Everything's fine. Oh, that's why she rises to the top. All right. Mission from Spirit. Let's go in and take a look at Elizabeth Warren. What's going on with Elizabeth Warren? Dang. Let me just check my notes here. All right. Base of the matter. She's taking charge of the situation. She appears as the Queen of Swords, even though I've got the archetype of the Queen of Cups for her because she is a water sign. However, she's entering into the Queen of Swords, the wise woman, and into a state of conflict. She's like in the lion's den, the fighting, the disagreeing about the use of money, the use of money, conflicts about. There's a lot of conflict here. You can see over her trying to look. She's knee deep into trying to get these bills passed, cooperation. She's getting a lot done that she would not normally get done because you can see the nice lover's card, which is to look towards God or spirit while others follow you. The female is, what I like about this card is because the female is looking up to God because she is the source of creation in the matriarchal tradition, in the Jewish tradition. Because she brings down life through her. And so the man trying to get close to God, he's not closer to God, she is in the matriarchal tradition. And so he looks to her to get close to God by her relationship with God. That's how he comes to God, is through her. That's what I like about this card. But that's right over her. So it's leading by example. It's the person who's in a strong place that leads by example. But the other thing I like about the lover's card is that it's about people coming together, working together. That may not necessarily. If you're talking about somebody's from a perspective of business, it can be an exchange of ideas, people coming together to create something. There's also a sacred aspect to it. What crosses it? The Strength card. Talk about somebody who was right. Look at that. 2 major arcanas right over her. This is the kind of person that could say, nah, 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 I got it right. But she's not. She's too busy. It's amazing how many Republicans and conservatives who now see their retirement wiped out want to have a conversation with her now about why the market needs to be that there need to be rules and regulations in place. This is like the worst student in her class finally figured it out. The crash. This is what's on her mind. Look at that. The 4th house. She's waiting for the crash. She's waiting for the crash. In the next 3 to 4 months, she's telling me when I go into the energy, the next 3 or 4 months are going to be extremely scary. And what she wants to do is she wants to take control of the market. She wants to be in a position where she can take, people need to stop fighting and they need to start working with her because she's trying to save the market from this. And it has to do with deregulation. And what she sits in, look at that, the devil, finance, the devil card, the tower, feeling trapped, feeling like her hands were tied. She feels like her hands are tied regarding the situation, and she's concerned about the impending crash. But she's coming into a new beginning, the new deal, the pioneer, starts a new road, April, May, and it has to do with the crash. This is the time when we really want someone like Elizabeth Warren in charge. Her karma in the 7th house. what is around her, the scholars, the academics, the smartest, the best, and the brightest around her from both conservative and liberal camps coming together. This is real academia. This is the intellectuals. This is the scholars. These are the professors. I like that being around her, the hope and the fear that they can get a deal. This is all about making deals. The lover card, the sacred contract, the sacred contract. The final outcome for her, in charge of the money woman. Many options. She's going to be given additional power. She's going to get us through it too. There's an empress as the final outcome, which is abundance. And that, by the way, talk about a beautiful card that has to do with Gaia. Mother always comes first. Once we figure out that the mother comes first, before you plant anything, you want to make sure that Gaia is okay. Ask her opinion. The earth comes first. Money, prosperity, environmentalism, Gaia. I'm telling you, Elizabeth Warren, all of the people that I have looked at charts for energetically, is the most powerful person in politics of any whose cards I've looked at. And I think we're now seeing why that is a little bit. That came in. Okay, I just want to check questions now. Looks like she's going to pull us out of it. Oh, what do we got going on here? Yes, we love our Elizabeth Warren. Looks like she's going to be getting increasing power, and it's going to be because scholars, even conservative scholars, are seeing the need for regulation. Oh, thank you for the birthday wish, Miss Michelle. That's awfully sweet of you. Happy birthday to me. Any other Aries here? Mother Oya. Yes, my beloved Miss C. You are correct about that. The High Priestess has aspects to her. You have to realize Oya has been with us since the beginning of time. You know, she's the underworld. She's the hidden secrets. So this archetype has been, it's a cross-cultural archetype. But if you take a look at this Miss C, I think Miss C's opinion. What do you think? Does that look like Oya to you? Because I see Oya. All she needs is an eggplant. Goddess of the underworld. All right. Let's do some more blitzes. Come on. Give me some work to do. Let's see here. Oh, can I have a reading? We're not doing private readings today. We're doing public readings, so public figures. Yes, it's safe to donate the blood. I think that they had said that it would be safe. And actually, they're looking at monoclonal antibody therapy, which is kind of a cool little thing for people who are interested in science. If you're a science geek like I am, monoclonal antibodies are where we take an antibody from somebody who has created antibodies against the COVID virus, and we make clones of it. Mono, single, clone, antibody. Isn't that cool? Monoclonal antibodies. I'll give a couple thank yous for the donations. For the people in need, yes, Douglas, thank you very much. $19.99 for people in need. Again, please let me know if you know of a charity that's giving food relief to people that are housebound. I think it would be easier if we did it that way. But for people who are part of this community that are scared and don't know where to go, we could probably afford to do some emergency food baskets for those folks. Stacy A, thank you very much. Oh, you know what? Thank you, Stacy. It's very sweet of you. I looked at my rent and it looks like I'm going to be able to make rent this month, even on my office, even though I shut my office down. So I think I'm going to be okay. If that changes, I will let the community know, but I think so far I'm okay. Food baskets, thank you again, Christy Price, she donated $19.99. to the food baskets. So I figure if we do like $50 of food, a basket just to get people through. Also, if you are disabled and you can't cook and you need ready-made stuff, that's going to be good to tell me. That way we can send you just cans of soup and things that can just be opened that way, things that are easy to make. So let us know if you have food needs, food sensitivities, just if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, or just let me know when you send me that email. But we will start doing those baskets right away for people. Awesome possum. Donald Trump again? How did I know y'all were? Donald Trump is finished. He knows it. He knows that Wall Street is going with Biden. I think he's given up the act because the act, they don't need the act anymore. And so basically the actor lost his gig. It's kind of sad. We'll have to find another gig. It's almost like they enjoyed driving Democrats crazy with him. They would have him say more and more and more outrageous things and then laugh their heads up and the Democrats went crazy. It's like he's a shock jock, but they don't need him anymore. Oh, I want to look at Barr. Thank you for mentioning Barr. William Barr. I do think Pence is going to be the main leader there up until the election, probably. William Barr, and then we're also looking at Donald Trump. I just want to check Trump, see how he's doing. All right, we'll do Trump. How are we doing here? Is everybody okay? Oh, sorry to hear that. I was reading Becca's comments about the televangelist. Yeah, there's oh, thank you. Yeah, my hair's gotten really long. What you believe and the facts are two separate things, and so we have fun here. This is fun. It's a fun little thing we do with readings, but when in doubt, science comes first. When in doubt, go to the CDC. That's where you're going to get the best facts. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying the World Health Organization doesn't have problems. I'm saying they're doing their best, and go with the facts. Don't go with rumors. All right. Let's look at Donald Trump. How you doing, Donald? The actor lost his job, I think. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Somebody else is taking over. King of Cups moving in with a Magician card. Yeah, I think he's stepping aside, and I think other people are moving in. But I like the fact also that his energy is now King of Cups, which is the peacemaker. It's not like that angry, temperamental 3-year-old. And I like the fact that the Magician card is coming in. He gets his wish. Let's see here. He gets his wish regarding offers. He wanted to be helped. He he is gratefully accepting help. Like he's the actor, he's the performer, he's the face of the presidency to some extent. But this is somebody who probably felt like he was out of his own depths. And so he may be grateful for the help he's received. You can see a helping hand, Ace of Cups, and then the Nine of Cups, he gets his wish. What is above him? Yeah, the money. The money's getting released. Look at that, double aces. He pulled double aces. Look, he doesn't have to have bad cards to have his career be finished. But I can tell you his career is finished because of the market. Look at this. Excellent. He's got a nice Emperor card. This is not the act anymore. This is somebody who is sitting in the objective reason. I've never seen his cards so healthy, quite frankly. Sitting in the past, negotiating, working with people, probably Nancy Pelosi, because it's her job to get the money out, right? Yeah, look at that. The money, cooperating, old love, new alliances, new deals, new love, gets his wish, and there's Pelosi. The peacemaker. Boy, if he had been like this in the beginning, he might have been a little bit less hated. Where he's at right now, the thief is leaving. He's fleeing the situation. I think that Linda G got the same card, if I'm not mistaken. To flee or get out of there, to get out of Dodge, what is around him. It's over. I don't see a future in this presidency. I think it was the right thing for him to do, to hand this over to other people, which seems to be what's gone on. And then the sun comes out. The world, walking away, hopes and fears, the work. Yeah, I think that people who are smarter than he is, people who know what they're doing, the intellectuals, the academics, the scientists are collectively coming together. And I think that the president is withdrawing from this. Expect a bad 6 weeks. We're headed towards a very bad 6 weeks. So, like I said, if you don't have to go out, don't go out. All right, let's look at William Barr, and then we'll close it. What is going to be with William Barr? What is going to be with William Barr? It's amazing what you can do with a little bit of intention if you talk to people and you just say, hey, here's what I want to do. I mean, when you think about how powerful this group of people just hanging out together, we planted 5,000 trees just because we decided to. We scraped together a little bit of money from watching commercials. People donated a little money here, a little money there. I mean, it's amazing what people can accomplish when they decide to do it. It's a wonderful thing. I think we would all agree about that. Yes, Pelosi is in Aries as well. She's getting her birthday's coming up as well. And she did come up in his chart with the Lover's card of negotiation, peace, double aces. You know, there's no need to fight now because what would be the point? This man has a snowball's chance at this point because of the market. William Barr is distancing himself from this president. That's what I think. I think that William Barr is distancing himself from this president. And the reason I say that is because the Two of Swords, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, it's also creating a problem for yourself. If you're carrying two heavy swords around and you're actually creating problems for yourself. King of Wands is moving in. I think he's laying low. I think that he's got the devil in his first house. It's almost like he's retreating. It feels when you go into this energy like he's retreating and his world is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. hard to explain, and I don't exactly understand what I'm looking at. Look at this. Three of Cups coming in over the Devil, which would be a celebration. Hopes and Fears, the Fool card, with the Three of Swords moving in the 4th house. 6th house, an Empress card. I feel like the whole country has picked up and moved, and it has made his world and he's a lot more limited. It's just like everything heads in a new direction. Everything heads in a new direction in April, and I keep seeing Pence taking on more of the presidential role, Trump stepping back, possibly resigning, or at the very least, just disappearing, and this new beginning starting in the spring again. And there's this investigation or something going on with Barr where it's almost like, I liken it to drug testing. You know, the bad boy who has to be periodically tested because they screwed up. That's what Barr's cards look like. It's almost like the authorities come in and start monitoring him. It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. I don't even know what I'm seeing. But so William Barr's power becomes increasingly diminished. And I think the reason why it becomes increasingly diminished is because of the direction of the country. And I think the writing is on the wall that this president's over. And I think that the world has gone with Biden. They want a stable market. And so the best this president can do is to simply be polite, cooperate, stop creating fights, slowly step back and let others take charge. And I think that Wall Street's not stupid. I mean, I don't think hardly anybody at this point who's got money is going to be backing this president. 25th Amendment, I don't think they need to. I mean, they've looked at the data. They've looked at his stats. I mean, Biden is 16 points ahead of him. Biden's winning him in Arizona. And it looks like Biden might win him in Florida. I mean, how's the guy going to win? He's not going to beat Biden in Pennsylvania. It's just not going to happen. Biden's from Pennsylvania. Isn't he from Scranton? So I think with everything that's happened and will happen, the president has a snowball's chance at this point. And I think it's a very gentle withdrawal. And slowly we're seeing more of Pence, and slowly we're seeing more people stepping up, and more of this president being like a tamed. It's like the animal's been tamed. The act is finished. It's very bizarre. All right, everybody, stay strong. I'm going to be here for the next couple months. If you need to get in for a reading, again, I cannot stress it enough. If you need help, if you're scared, if you need a food delivery, email me. I know Linda G is also going to be coordinating stuff through her channel. If you are a good angel and you want to help with the baskets, if you want to donate a basket to somebody in need, because I have limited funds like the rest of us, but I will be using the funds this month from the group. Let us know. Let's start connecting people, and maybe we can all, if you could pledge a $50 basket or a $20 basket, and then we'll just connect you with someone in your area or somebody that you want to help. Thank you, everybody, and stay strong. I think we're doing great. The CDC gets its information from the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization gets information from the CDC. So that is the function of the World Health Organization. There's something similar to a CDC or a public health organization in most countries, and they communicate. Protocols are shared via the World Health Organization, and that's how they're learning how to stabilize patients in acute care right now. It's because information is being shared back and forth with the World Health Organization with other people. in other countries that could use the information. And that's originally why we had a CDC and why we had a World Health Organization, and why those bloody liberals were pushing for basic public health for new immigrants. And look, I lived in Germany for a couple of years, and when I showed up and filed to stay there, they made me take an X-ray. You know, the government I didn't have to pay for anything, but they were looking for like TB. They didn't want a new person living there to carry a disease. Same with when I became an Israeli citizen. I'm dual citizen with Israel. I had to have a physical checkup. I had to have a blood draw. It's part of protecting your population. And so that is why, you know, if we had paid a little in public health, we wouldn't perhaps be in such a dire situation now. So it's more cost effective to put a little bit of money towards public health than it is to be in this situation. It's expensive, but this is a lot more expensive. Thanks, everyone. Love and light, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye, everybody. Peace out. Adios.